Welcome to my literary analysis of The Color Purple. I have been doing this for a few days now, and my hopes are that people are going to get interested in reading the book and analyzing it with me. I put out a challenge and I asked people to comment what type of novel is it when the narrative is told through letters. Of course, I know what it is, but I want people to comment so I know that they're watching. So I got these glasses for free, believe it or not. Here's what you do. You go here, you schedule an eyesight examination with a doctor, you pay for that. And if you choose a pair of glasses that cost 200, and I mean norske kroner, I don't mean pounds or dollars or anything. If you choose one of those that cost 200, you get them for free. Mama doesn't have a lot of money, so I'm starting today from page 80. If you have this version of The Color Purple by Alice Walker. In my last video, I talked about Harpo and Sophia. Harpo and Sophia had a very tumultuous relationship. And at that point in the novel, they're not together, but there's still some tension between them. Let's see what happens now, shall we? And watch out for AAVE, African American Vernacular English. You know it. When you read, you'll know. Dear God, harp a mope, wipe the counter, light a cigarette, look outdoors, walk up and down. Little Squeak run along up, all under him, trying to get his attention. Baby this, she say, baby that. Harpa look through her head, blow smoke. So what you can notice here in the usage of AAV, African American Vernacular English. So the third person plural, when you learn how to conjugate verbs in English, you learn, so I look, he looks, right? So I look, you look, he looks. That marker for third person singular disappears. They conjugate everything without that third. Whenever they talk about the third person, instead of saying Harper mopes, wipes the counter, lights a cigarette, it is all mope, wipe, light, without the marker for third person singular. That's a characteristic of AAV. So, no, but that's a mistake. My teacher told me to put the S. Yeah, I hear you. And let me hold your hand when I say this. African American Vernacular English is a valid form of the English language. It is a dialect, which is very different from just an accent. Because I can say, I would like to drink water with my daughter. And I can say, I'd like to drink water with my daughter. I'm just pronouncing things differently, but I'm saying the same words. So that's an accent. How you pronounce the words, the cadence of your speech. When you actually introduce different elements and different words and you change the words completely, how they look even, how they're, because you can see it when you read the novel. That's how it's written. I'm not just saying things like that when I'm reading it out loud. So watch out for that. It's present throughout the book, but I'm going to keep saying it in case people are paying attention, so they're going to learn something from it. Squeak come over to the corner where me and Mr. at. She got two bright gold teeth in the side of her mouth, generally grin all the time. Now she cry. Miss Silly, she say. What the matter with Harpo? Sophia in jail, I say. In jail? She look like I say Sophia on the moon. What's she in jail for? She asked. Sassing the mayor's wife, I say. Squeak pull up a chair, look down my throat. What's your real name? I asked her. She say, Mary Agnes. Make Harper call you by your real name, I say. Then maybe he see you even when he trouble. She look at me puzzled. I let it go. I tell her what one of Sophia's sisters tell me and Mister. Sophia and the prize fighter and all the children got in the prize fighter car and went to town. Climb out on the street looking like somebody. Just then, the mayor and his wife come by. All these children, say the mayor's wife, digging in her pocketbook. Cute as little buttons, though, she say. She stopped, put her hand on one of the children's head, say, and such strong white teeth. Sophia and the prize fighter don't say nothing. Wait for her to pass. Mayor wait too. Stand back and tap his foot. Watch her with a little smile. Now, Millie, he say, always going on over collared. I'm gonna have to stop. I know I keep stopping, but don't say collared when you want to talk about people of color. People of color, you can say that. You can say people of color. You can say black. There's nothing wrong with saying black, but don't use colored. Don't use that. Black people can use whatever jargon they want, whatever vernacular they want. They can use any word they want to describe themselves or others regarding their skin color. But if you're not black, then don't get into it. Oh, but my friend is black. My friend doesn't mind. Your friend does not make the rules for how everyone else in the world acts or how they express themselves. This is nothing to do with freedom of speech, the action and expression in Norway. Freedom of action and expression in Norway does not allow for racial slurs, for hate speech of any kind, and it's the same way in other countries too. You're allowed to have your opinion, but there are limitations to what you are allowed to say in regards to how you talk about other people. So as long as you don't use racial slurs, homophobic slurs, transphobic slurs, fatphobic slurs, there are so many different types of speech that can be hateful. Don't use it. Oh, but I want to say whatever I want. You do you, boo, but there will be consequences if you do. You have to be prepared for the consequences when you don't measure your actions. So at this point in time in the novel, there was a lot of segregation, a lot of racism going on in America on a higher level than we see nowadays in the world. So it was part of how society acted, and it was not fantastic. Not one bit. All your children so clean, she say. Would you like to work for me, be my maid? Sophia say, hell no. She say, what you say? Sophia say, hell no. Mayor look at Sophia, push his wife out of the way, stick up his chest. Girl, what you say to Miss Millie? Sophia say, I say, hell no. He slap her. I stopped telling you right there. Squeak on the edge of her seat. She wait. Look down my throat some more. No need to say no more. Mister say, you know what happened if somebody slapped Sophia? Squeak go white as sheet. Nah, she say. Nah, nothing, I say. Sophia knocked the man down. The police has come, start slinging the children off the mayor, bang their heads together. Sophia really start to fight. They drag her to the ground. As far as I can go with it, look like my eyes get full of water and my throat close. Poor Squeak, all scrunched down in her chair, trembling. They beat Sophia, Mister say. Squeaky, not Squeakly. Her nickname is Squeak, but her real name is Mary Agnes. It's very important for you to keep track of the characters as you read, And I ask my students to do a reading log. They tend to historically read the book or go through the book or do whatever, not do a reading log, do like a reading log for the first couple of pages or chapters. And then at the end, when they're supposed to hand in the reading log, they try to create a reading log as if it had been made as they read. Don't do that. It's not fantastic. I can tell that it's been done like that as well, but listen, I'm not here to make people's lives difficult, so I'll accept it because I can't prove that that's how it was made, but I can tell. So, and also don't use AI. You're supposed to read the book. You're supposed to create a reading log, write your notes, make up your own mind about the book. Don't use AI. I'm going to find out that you did, and it's not going to be pretty. And the thing is, it's not that I want to make you work more. I want you to learn. That's my job as a professor, teacher, lecturer, right? That's my job. Create a reading log. So Mary Agnes is called Squeak. That's just a nickname, a term of endearment. But her name, Mary Agnes, you have to remember the names of the characters so that you can refer to them by name. At least the most important ones. If there are like 35 characters, now you don't need to know the 35 of them, but maybe the central five-ish, six, seven, yeah? Okay, I'm almost done because I don't like to make these videos too long because people have no attention span. Squeak fly up like she sprung, run over hind the counter, hind the counter. Instead of behind, it says hind the counter. To Harpo, put her arms round him. They hang together a long time and cry. What the prize fighter do in all this? I asked Sophia's sister, Odessa. You want to jump in, she say. Sophia say no. Take the children home. Polices have their guns on him anyway. One move, he dead. 6 of 'em, you know. Mister, go plead with the sheriff to let us see Sophia. Bub be in so much trouble. Looks so much like the sheriff. He and Mister almost on family terms. Just long as Mister know he collared. That word again. You're using that word, the narrative from Sophia, not Sophia. I'm thinking about Sophia because they're talking about her. From Celi's point of view, she's the one writing the letters to God. She is a Black American. She's an African American. She can use the word collared. And she's talking about how the white people are using it because they're racist. That's why they were using it, right? But when the Black person uses it, whether it makes sense for you or not, it's part of their culture. I myself don't use the N word or any derogatory term, but a lot of Black people do, and I respect that. If you're white and you're using it, especially to call people that name, using the N word, in some countries you can get arrested for being racist. Not here in Norway, unfortunately. I don't know, but maybe it'll change. We'll see. Sheriff say she a crazy woman, your boy's wife. You know that? Mister say, yes, sir, us do know it. Been trying to tell Harpo she crazy for 12 years, since way before they marry. Sophia come from crazy peoples, Mister say. Not all her fault. And then again, the sheriff know how women's is anyhow. Sheriff think about the women he knows, say, yep, you right there. Mister say, we're gonna tell her she crazy too. If us ever do get to see her. Sheriff say, well, make sure you do, and tell her she lucky she alive. When I see Sophia, I don't know why she's still alive. They crack her skull, they crack her ribs, they not tear, but tear. They tear her nose loose on one side, they blind her in one eye. She's swole from head to foot. Her tongue the size of my arm, it stick out tween her teeth like a piece of rubber. She can't talk, and she just about the color of an eggplant. Scare me so bad. I near about drop my grip, but I don't. I put it on the floor of the cell, take out comb and brush, nightgown, witch hazel, and alcohol, and I start to work on her. I call her Tan and bring me water to wash her with, and I started her two little slits for eyes. So it is now 15 minutes. I don't like to make these too long. But this visit, when they visit Sophia, it's a very emotional moment for Celie because Celie had a very affectionate bond with Sophia. They bonded, and Sophia also taught her a thing or two about how to survive in the marriage with Mr. Keep watching and comment what type of narrative is told through letters. There is a name for that kind of novel.